Now we are going to study human settlements part 3. In the previous parts, that is part 1 and part 2, we have studied about human settlement. What is human settlement and what are the different types? We have already discussed the circular settlement, triangular pattern, rectangular pattern, radial pattern and linear type of settlement as well as patternless settlement. So all these topics we have covered already in part 1 and part 2. Now, in this, we are going to study the settlements which are differently based. It is based on nucleated, it is based on dispersed manner, it is based on isolation type of settlement. Let us study them in detail. Now, human settlement is a place where people live. Any place where a people construct a house, a hut, that type of place is said to be human settlement. Wherever he settles or he is stable at a certain place, wherever he'll go for a job whole day but he's going to come back and he's going to stay there, that thing is called as settlement. But it also includes the people who live there, the building, roads, streets, pathways which link up the building in the settlement and through which the people communicate. So the settlement not only includes the houses or the home, it also includes the buildings, other buildings, the roads, the streets, the paths, whatever is there which is going to link, that is also considered as settlement. A settlement has a site and a location. So it has a territory, it has a location, it has an area. The site is the land area on which the settlement is built. So whichever area on which the house or the building is built is called as site. It can be on the hill, it can be on the riverside, it can be on the plain surface, it can be anywhere. There is no certain that it should be on some specific point. It can be anywhere on the surface of the earth. The location is its position in relation to other cultural features or settlement in their region. So, whatever is the location, it is going to relate to the factors like physical factors of that area, the environmental factors of that region. The study of human settlement is essential to human geography because the form of settlement in any particular region reflects a human relationship with the environment. So, why is the study of human settlement necessary? Because it is going to help, or the study of human settlement is going to help us understand what is the relationship of a human with the environment, which type of environment is very much suitable for human settlement, for human stability and his consistency. The basic distinction between villages and towns is that in towns, the main profession of the people is associated to secondary, tertiary sectors, while the villages people are mostly involved in primary occupations such as agriculture, fishing, mining, lumbering, animal husbandry, etc. So, all the city areas or metropolitan area people are engaged in the secondary tertiary activities, whereas the people in the rural areas are engaged in the primary activities like animal husbandry, agriculture and fishing. So because of this also there is the impact on the settlement. Wherever the rural area is seen, the settlement is very much modified, the lifestyle is better, and wherever the rural area is seen, there the settlement is basically low. It is not modified as compared to the urban area. Urban areas are likely to be more modified. They have all the qualities, better healthcare facilities, better medical facilities. All the things are very much good, and all these things also affect the particular territory or particular area. And because of that, also the settlements varies. Types of settlement. Settlement vary in size and it also varies according to the types. Settlement could be small and sparsely spaced, and they may also be large and closely spaced. So it can be small, it can be large, it can be close, it can be far. So it depends. The range of a hamlet to metropolitan city. With size, the economic character and social structure of settlement change, and so do its ecology and technology. So, according to the size, the settlements changes. And on the basis of this, on the basis of the spacing, how much distance is between the two houses from one home to the other home. On this basis, the settlement is divided into four types. First is nucleated settlement. It is also called as clustered. It is also called as compact. Second is fragmented settlement. It is also called as semi-clustered settlement. Third is dispersed settlement, and fourth is isolated settlement. Let us study all these settlements in detail. Nucleated settlement. These settlements are those in which large number of houses are constructed very close to each other. Now in this type of settlement, a specific area, in that area only the houses are constructed and it is very much populated. The houses are very close to each other. There is no proper space between the houses. A nucleated village is a type of settlement pattern which has home instead clustered around a central point called a nucleus. There is a central point which is called as nucleus, and beyond that central point all the houses are surrounded and they are very much densely populated. Nucleated settlements are towns where buildings are close together, often clustered around the central point. So these are the cities, these are the towns where all the buildings are very much close to each other from the central point. In a nucleated or compact settlement, the buildings are clustered, linked by roads, and settlement itself may have nearly circular, irregular shape. So, as it has a central point, as it has a nucleus point, a center of attraction. So, basically, this type of settlement may have a circular shape, or it may have a irregular shape, or it can be a patternless also. Such settlements can either cultural or urban depending on the size and the function they perform. These type of settlements can be urbanized, can be ruralized, it can be cultural, any type of settlements depending on the functions which they perform. If they are performing the functions of primary occupation, definitely it will be a rural area. If the functions which are performed like tertiary, secondary occupation, then it can be some urban area. Such settlements grow along river valleys and in fertile plains. So, as the fertile plains, these plains are densely populated, it attracts the population more. So, this type of compact settlement is seen in the plains. Why? Because of fertile land, water availability, and agriculture can be done very nicely. The focal point depends on location and culture. It may be a church, it may be a park, it may be a stadium, it may be a market. Any type of center of attraction can be present. The location of nucleated settlement can be determined by the range of factors like it can be easy to defend, close to water supply, locate at the root, a center. So because of to save themselves from any type of problems, also this type of settlements are usually seen. Next is fragmented settlement. Fragment itself tells us dispersing, clustering, making small fragments, distribution. So the meaning of fragment itself says us that it is fragmented in small pieces. These type of settlements may result from tendency of clustering in a restricted area or dispersed settlement. The segmentation of a large village is often motivated by social and ethnic factors. Whenever there are some social factors, some ethnic factors are there, that time we see this fragmentation. Some religion is staying together, then some other religion is staying somewhere else together. This type of groupism can be seen. More often, such a pattern may also result from segregation or fragmentation of a large compact village. So it can also create segregation and it can also create fragmentation of a large village also. Sometimes settlement is fragmented into several units physically separated from each other bearing a common name. So many times what happens? A settlement is also fragmented with a different names or a common name. These units are locally called Panna, Para, Pali, Nagla, Dhani in various parts of the country. So these settlements, fragmented settlements, have different names in different parts of the country. In the figure, you can see how the housing or how the houses are fragmented and they are away from each other, and they are fragmented with the help of road routes. Now the next is isolated settlement. Isolated means what? Isolation means remote, from too much far from that particular area. Nothing or no other settlement is seen. That type of house or that type of settlement is called as isolated settlement. An isolated settlement consists of a single farm or house very remote from any other one, usually found in farming or hunting rural communities. This type of settlement is usually found in farming lands or in hunting rural communities. The single house is remotely located somewhere, and far away from it, the more houses are also not available. Lot of distance, it requires lot of distance for the other house. Isolation settlement refers to areas either in long distance away from cities, where there is lack of facilities as well as opportunities such as transportation, market, training place, educational institution. So this type of settlement is basically seen in undeveloped regions where there are no proper facilities of transportation, there are no proper accessibility to road. These are seen almost in the remote areas where the person or the people, they cannot go and stay easily or conveniently. These type of settlements also lack in transportation, they lack in the educational institutions also, in the market also, and they don't have any type of proper infrastructure also. Now next is dispersed settlement. Dispersed means what? Scattering of the things, means to move away, not very much compact. This is known as dispersed. In the figure also you can see the houses are very much far away from each other. They don't have much compactness between themselves. A dispersed settlement is made up of several houses scattered or dispersed. One house may be up to 1 or more kilometers from the next house. So there is almost 1 or more than 1 kilometer gap in between the houses. You can see this mostly in the villages. When the villagers, they construct their houses in the farm itself, that time you can see that the gap between the houses is more. In this settlement, houses are separated far apart from each other in the scattered within the fields. A cultural characteristic such as place of worship or a market forces the settlement to come together. This pattern of settlement appears in the form of isolated hut or hamlet, or few huts in remote jungles or on small hills with farms or pastures on the slopes. So this type of pattern is seen where in the jungles, at the slopes, on the hills, on the pasture land. So this type of settlements are generally seen in those places. Extreme dispersion of settlement is often caused by extreme fragmented nature of the terrain and land resource based on habitable areas. So most of the dispersion or the extreme dispersion is seen, which leads to extreme fragmentation at the terrain and land resource based on the habitable areas. Now this is the settlement pattern. In this figure you can see the middle portion is densely populated. All the houses are very close to each other. They are very compact. The distance between the houses is very much less. Hence this type of settlement is called as nucleated settlement. Next here you can see the road. Along the roadside the houses are constructed in a straight line from that side as well as this side of the road. At the both the sides the houses are constructed in the straight line. This type of settlement is called as linear settlement. Now the next settlement is the dispersed settlement. Now in dispersed settlement you can see the houses, it has the gap of 1.5 kilometers between them. It is usually seen in the slopy areas, in the pasture land, where the houses, they have lot of gap between them. And in next corner you can see the isolated settlement is a single house which has no transportation, nothing, the facilities are not good, only one house is there. Such type of settlement is called as isolated settlement. I hope you understood all these settlements very clearly, and this one figure tells you all the settlements under one roof. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe my channel.